You see, let me tell you something. I think it's going to tell a lot about the De La Hoya fight, because I am not of the school that De La Hoya was finished or that De La Hoya was dehydrated. You can't be dehydrated if you're in the training camp at 145. In other words, the reason he only went from 145 to 147 is your weight is 145. And then you eat a normally heavy meal. Maybe you put on 2 pounds. That's what happened to him. It wasn't that he was dehydrated. He was in great shape at that weight. Now, the problem that's now it's coming out that De La Hoya says, well, his punches weren't that hard, but he would hit me with 9 punches, I'd go get him, and he would be in another place. Now, Pacquiao has a style like I've never seen before, and that style is he disappears in plain sight. In other words, he's there, and he disappears and he's on the other side. So he's on one side and he punches you, and you got to punch him back, and suddenly he's on the other side. Or he's in front of you. It's like a shell game. Now, if he can do that to Cotto, then everything becomes clear. Everything becomes clear that you're dealing with a guy who has a skill that we've never ever seen before in boxing. I've seen fast guys. I've never seen a fighter that disappears the way he does. Marquez is a great counterpuncher. So Marquez will look good if a fighter attacks him, like Manny attacks him, like Juan Diaz attacks him, because he's a counterpuncher. If he's fighting a Mayweather, now he has to change his style completely and be the aggressor. And Juan Manuel Marquez cannot fight that way. Never fought that way. So how the hell did you expect it to be a good fight? It was a terrible fight for that reason. You had a counterpuncher who is now becoming aggressive, going after one of the best defensive fighters of all time. So it wasn't going to be a good fight. It was not going to be a good fight. The only time that Mayweather can be in a good fight is when he's going after a fighter, when he's fighting a fighter who is fast and has aggression, thought-out aggression. That's why Mayweather gets beat by Mosley, probably gets beat by Cotto, and probably by Manny. Those are the 3 fights where he's in jeopardy of losing. Those 3 fights. If he fights anybody that is a counterpuncher, holds back, he'll murder him.
Would you say he definitely loses to Mosley?
No, I think the toughest fight for Mayweather is Shane Mosley because of his style.
Do you think he fights either of those 3?
No, of course not. Because Mayweather legacy for himself is to retire undefeated, to say I have never lost, and therefore he will not take a chance like a normal fighter. If you tell a normal fighter, hey, you're going to make X dollars and so forth, he might go for it even though he might lose. Mayweather will not fight a fight that he believes there's any possibility that he will lose.
Even if there's 20, 25 million?
The money is second.
He calls himself Money Mayweather.
Okay. He also believes that he can fight in his next fight Joe Blow and do not 1 million, maybe 800, enough to make it worthwhile. So maybe he's right, but the fight I would like to see him is with Mosley. And if Cotto beats Pacquiao, then I'd like to see Cotto fight it. It'll never, ever happen.
Would Pacquiao fight the winner of Mosley Mayweather?
Pacquiao would fight Mosley. Pacquiao would fight Mosley. I mean, Pacquiao, if he wins, has a lot of options. One, if the fight's a really good fight, you could do a rematch. Two, he could fight Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley would be very reasonable. You could do that. Three, you could do a fight at 140 against Marquez. That's an interesting fight because, you know, but they had two close fights. And fourth, he can fight Mayweather. So he has all these options if he wins.
You sound pessimistic about me.